Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me this afternoon for another Lunch and Learn presentation. Please let me know if you have any issues hearing me. Also, before we get started, because I forgot this last time, if you're watching it with more than one person at your desk or wherever you might be, please just either shoot me an email or put it in the chat or comments section. Just let me know so I can make sure everybody gets their points for attending today. As always, there will be a recording available after, so if you have to jump off early, you can watch the rest of it at a later time, or if anybody asks you about it. I will be sending that out later today. I'll also be sending a quiz with that. If you are attending live, you do not need to take the quiz. You will get your points just for being here live today. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to jump on, stop me at any point, put them in the questions or chat boxes down there, and I'll try to watch for those. This webinar, I had asked about our wellness committee on some ideas, things that maybe they've overheard coworkers or other staff talking about that maybe there's a topic that they want to hear about. And I know that staying active during the day and even just fitting in any type of workouts throughout the week are difficult, especially for you guys as educators. Your days are busy, and typically your workday doesn't end when you leave work. So hopefully you'll find some good tips here, and hopefully you'll be able to use some of those to help fit some activity into your day. So we'll go ahead and get started right away. Just got to get the slideshow going here. All right. So obviously you all carry different roles, whether you're working in the admin building, you're a teacher, a paraprofessional, whatever it might be, maintenance, a lot of different roles going on here. So there could be different reasons why you're not getting the activity that you need during the day, or at least as much that you want. Could be that you're stuck at a desk all day. It could be that you're just crazy busy and you're wondering, how am I supposed to fit a workout into this already busy day? So we're going to talk about kind of both of those topics here. So first, we're just going to start out with some facts. So it's not a surprise to any of you, I'm sure, that physical inactivity is a serious problem worldwide, really. So some of these facts here are kind of crazy. It is one of the leading causes of death. 3.2 million deaths per year can be related or tied back to physical inactivity. It is a significant factor for non-communicable diseases. So we're talking about heart disease, stroke, diabetes, high blood pressure, things like that. Cancer is a big one. You can see some of those stats there with, 30% of heart disease, 27% of diabetes, breast cancer, colon cancer. All those are tied to too little activity. And a quarter of adults worldwide are not getting in the activity that they need every day. So just some quick facts there for you. And then obviously we know that there are a lot of health benefits to getting in regular activity. Just some of them briefly. Obviously it's going to improve your fitness, both muscular, cardiovascular, your bone and functional health, helping with those joints and your bones, helping you move better, reduces those risk of those diseases that we had talked about, or that I just mentioned, that you're at higher risk of having if you don't get in the activity. Reduces the risk of falls, especially as we start to age. Those become a bigger risk factor, and the more active you are, the lower that risk is. And then just overall, it's going to help balance your energy, give you more energy throughout the day, more mental clarity. It's going to help, obviously, with weight control as well. So just some of the basics. Physical activity doesn't need to be a structured workout. It's anything that gets your body moving. So there's two different types that should be included in any activity that you're doing. There's aerobic or cardio, and strength training. So basically the guidelines, the recommendations for what adults should be getting each week is at least 150 minutes, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes or 30 minutes on 5 days during the week. And that's moderate intensity aerobic activity, which that can be anything from a brisk walk, you know, taking the dog for a walk, or doing some gardening, things like that would be considered moderate intensity, or doing 75 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes of vigorous intensity. That would be like going for a run or jog, playing basketball or tennis, swimming some laps. Things like that would be considered vigorous intensity. Or you can do a combination of the two. It doesn't have to be one or the other. But then you should also include at least 2 days of moderate to high intensity strength training per week. And that doesn't mean that you have to go to a gym and lift big weights and things like that. That just means do something that's going to really test those muscles, work them. That can be just with body weight, doing squats or lunges or push-ups, or you know, carrying things around as you're doing daily activities, or you can use stuff that you have at home, you know, soup cans, water bottles, things like that, if you don't have weights and want to do exercises that require weights, or resistance bands are other options too. So then, how do we fit activity into the workday? And I'm not talking necessarily at this point a workout, but how do you stay active in general as you're at work? Again, like I mentioned, many of you carry different roles. So for some of you, your roles require you to be more active. Maybe you are part of the maintenance team and you're constantly walking around the buildings doing different things. As a teacher, maybe you're active throughout the classroom. But a lot of us do find ourselves sitting a lot during the day. And there's more and more studies showing how much that can impact our health in a negative way. You'll even find some out there that say sitting is the new smoking, and that the amount of sitting that most of us are doing during a day is causing those health impacts similar to what smoking would, as far as mortality rates and risk of diseases. So you don't have to completely, you know, change your whole day up. Just make some small changes to get in some more steps during your day. Some of these are probably pretty obvious. You've heard them before. These are suggestions that I've gotten from different coworkers of yours. People on the wellness committee as well have put their input in how they stay active. Big one, skip the elevator, take the stairs whenever possible. Just walking up and down the stairs a couple times a day is going to burn more calories, get your heart racing, things like that. Instead of sending an email or calling a coworker, walk over to their desk, have that conversation in person. It's going to get you some extra steps. You're going to be standing at their desk while you talk to them. Plus, all of our emails are already overloaded anyway, so save someone from one more in their inbox there. Park at the farthest spot away. Wherever you are parking, whatever parking lot you have access to, try to find the farthest spot. Get in those extra steps. It might not seem like a lot, but it does make a difference. Or you can even park, you know, a few blocks away. Use the farthest printer. So anytime you have to print, scan, copy, whatever it might be, look for what printer is the farthest away and use that one instead of the one that's closest. Get in some extra walking. Same with the bathroom. Find the farthest restroom away anytime that you find that you get time for a break. If you have a phone call, whether it be a conference call or talking with a coworker, parent, whatever it might be, stand up. And if your phone allows you, if you have, you know, a cordless phone, pace, walk around the room, use those few minutes to get in some extra steps there. If you're hosting a meeting, this is a good time to help you and your coworkers also get in some steps. Go for a walk while you're moving. You'll find that extra blood flow can get some really creative ideas going. It's really going to boost everyone's spirit, much better than spending the day sitting in conference rooms at those meetings. And then for the teachers, as much as you can, walk around the classroom while your students are working. I saw one suggestion from a teacher, and obviously depending on how your schedule is, they said that anytime students are in the room, they make it a rule that they won't sit down. So you're standing, moving around, getting in that activity throughout that class period. If you're somebody that does sit a lot, you're sitting behind a desk, find ways to interrupt that sitting time. So be less efficient in your classroom, in your office, whatever it might be. So items that you use often that we typically try to keep within reach so we can grab them really easily, do the opposite. Put them somewhere farther away so it makes you stand up, makes you walk a little bit to go get those. If you, so I have this one on here twice, but if you need to sit down, use an exercise ball if you can, instead of your desk chair. And if you have questions about that, let me know. I do have some available as some of the prizes for the challenges that you participate in. So another way to get some of those, some of that exercise equipment that you can use at work. Use a standing desk if you're able to. Standing desks can be pricey, so you can always improvise, stack some books, do whatever you can to get your computer up a little ways so that you can stand up. Do short bursts of exercises throughout the day, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll give you some examples of that. Put an alarm on your phone or your computer. Remind yourself to get up and move. Oftentimes we're just so busy doing whatever work we have going on, or we just don't even think about it. Next thing you know, a couple hours has passed by and you haven't moved from that spot that you've been sitting in. So put a reminder out there for yourself and get up at least once every hour, if not every half an hour. At least just stand up, stretch, go for a couple-minute walk, get moving. So then, like I just mentioned, stretching is very important to do throughout the day, whether you are sitting a lot or even if you're moving around. Stretching will help to keep that blood flowing, help to keep those muscles and things loose if you're sitting in one spot, or if you're walking around, bending over on your feet a lot, things like that. So a lot of good stretches you can do with your neck, your shoulders, your back. Stretch out your hands, especially if you're doing a lot of computer work, a lot of typing or writing or whatever it might be. Really get those wrists and those hands stretched out. And then, of course, your legs as well. And as we talk about these stretches, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some exercises that you can do too. I'm going to provide some resources similar to what you see on the screen here when I send out the information for the recording. So watch your email for that. They'll also be in the Google Drive folder where the recording will be stored. So if you want to print one off, put it at your desk, remind yourself, or wherever your workspace is, give yourself some ideas on what to do throughout the day. These will be available for you. So then get in some exercise at work as well. I know it probably sounds silly. You probably feel a little ridiculous doing it, but make it make it normal in the office. You do it, make other people feel comfortable doing it, or you can find a private place to do it as well if you don't feel comfortable. But a lot of these you can do pretty inconspicuously. So just some ideas for some exercises. You can just, do some simple squats, some lunges, use the wall or your desk to do some push-ups. You can walk or march in place if you're, you can even jog if you want. If you're sitting down, you can kind of do some quick feet, really tap your toes fast. Wall sits are another one. Put your back against the wall, squat down so your legs are perpendicular to the floor, and hold that for a few seconds, however long you can. Tricep dips with your chair or your desk. You can see that in the bottom left-hand corner here is an example of those if you've never done those before. When you're standing, do some calf raises. Lift up onto your toes and repeat those. Do some glute squeezes. This one you can do without anybody knowing, no matter how silly you might feel. Just squeeze those glute muscles. You can do some shoulder presses. Find a book, water bottles, whatever it might be. Put a little resistance in your hands and just press your arms above your shoulders. While you're sitting in your desk, you can just simply, move to the edge and then raise your legs from your knee, bending that and straightening it. Or you can do that standing as well. Bicep curls, again, find something, if you don't have weights, find something around your workspace that you can hold on to and use that to do some curls there. Something as simple as just balancing on one foot will do more than what you think. And some lateral leg lifts as well. These are just some examples of exercises you can do while you're at work. Again, I'm going to provide some resources that show these as well so that you can get a picture and some direction if you're not familiar with these exercises. So then, of course, for most of us, the reason that we don't get in the activity that we need is because we just have trouble finding the time. But in reality, we can all find the time that we need to exercise. It's about making it a priority and making sure that you fit it into your schedule. So how do we make workouts actually work? Especially, like I said, many of you take your work home at night. You have families at home. There's just, your day fills up fast. So first tip I have for you is stop making excuses. You are busy, but it doesn't mean that you don't have time to work out. As I said, you just have to make it so that it's something that's important to you, that it's a priority. If you decide to make it a priority, then you will find the time to do it like you do your other priorities. Find a time that will work for you. Everybody's different. If you're an early bird, set your alarm a little earlier, get up, go for a walk, get in an exercise video, walk on the treadmill while you watch the news. Whatever time works best for you. Maybe it's right after school. If you do that, bring your clothes, anything that you need right with you to school or to work, and go straight to the gym, or make sure when you get home you go straight to do your exercise. Oftentimes if we stop at home, we sit down or we start doing other things, we lose that motivation or we get too busy and we don't find that time. Commit to exercise at least 2 to 3 days a week. So you may be thinking that there's no way that you can come home and work out every single day. But you don't have to. Yes, it's good if you can fit in 5 days a week. Maybe someone even has time for 6 days a week. But the most important thing is that you're doing exercise regularly. So if you can commit to always getting in 2 to 3 days a week, you're way ahead of where you were if you weren't getting in anything at all. And maybe you have a bad week and you only get in a couple, maybe 1 week you get in more, as long as you're fitting something in. If you think about it, there's at least 1 day during the week in your schedule that you can set aside 30 minutes, and then all you need is 30 minutes on a weekend to fit it in as well to get those 2 days a week. So make that commitment and stick to it. work out at home. So some people are best if they go to a gym. Some do not like the atmosphere. For some, that just takes too much time. You have to drive there, you have to change, drive back home, save yourself the time, the work, do a workout at home. There are DVDs you can buy for any type of exercise that you like to do. You can put on some music and dance. You can go on YouTube. Personally, I do that a lot. There's a lot of free workout videos on YouTube. And in the resources, I'll provide some of the channels out there that are free, excuse me, sorry, that have really good workouts that you can try as well. Otherwise, you can use your body weight or other equipment at home too. It's important that you do something you enjoy as well. So if you're doing exercises, if you hate running, don't run. You're not going to want to do it. It's going to feel like the biggest chore to you. You're going to dread, the time that you're doing it. So find something that you really enjoy to do. Do you like to dance? Do you like to bike? Do you like lifting weights or yoga? Find a class that you like. If you enjoy it, you're more likely to stick with it. So find something that you like to do and do that. Commit to minutes, not hours. So, maybe you used to work out and you used to be at the gym or in your home doing stuff for an hour, 2 hours even. Don't think of it that way. Like I said, the recommendations are for 30 minutes, 5 days a week. So find something that's 25, 30 minutes, whether it's going for a walk. There's some great workout programs like T25 that can give you a really good workout in a short amount of time. And that includes any high intensity interval trainings, and that's something that I can go through on another lunch and learn as well to go through that more. But you can push yourself for a shorter amount of time. Like we said, any amount of exercise that you get in is going to be good for you. So don't think it has to be, a full hour set aside or longer. Buddy up. So find somebody that has similar exercise goals as you, and use them to help keep you accountable and help motivate you. Maybe there's a day where you're not feeling like exercising, but you know that you've already committed to that other person that you're going to go for that walk or you're going to attend that class. You're more likely to do it then if you have somebody else that's counting on you or somebody else that you're going to go with. Maybe it's a friend, a coworker, a family member. Go for a walk before work starts or after work, after dinner. Take your spouse or your kids. But just find somebody to go with you if you're somebody that likes to exercise with other people. Think ahead, plan ahead, make sure that you've got, your workout clothes ready if you're going to be working out in the morning, or take them with you if you're going to be doing it after school. Make sure that you don't leave yourself that opportunity for that excuse that you didn't have time or that things weren't ready. Just make sure that you plan ahead for it. Put it on your calendar. So our calendar's still at fast. We've got meetings, we've got activities, we've got kids, your kids at home have their activities, things like that. Schedule it right in your calendar. Say that is your time for yourself. Act like it's another meeting, another activity, something that you can't skip. Put it right in there. Help hold yourself accountable that way. And then just get started. You can keep telling yourself that I'm going to start next week, I'm going to start tomorrow. We oftentimes just keep pushing it back. Make that commitment, get going, and stick to it. So, don't tell yourself it's going to be tomorrow. Tell yourself, I'm going to do this today at this time, and get out there and do it. Some other tips that I have for you: your commute is a great way to get in some exercise. So I know a lot of people, you live too far away, but if you don't, you can walk, you can bike to work. Even if you do, have a longer commute, maybe you park in a parking lot or a park or somewhere that's a few blocks away from work. and then walk or bike or whatever it might be that distance. So even though you have to drive to work, you can still park, you know, a little distance away and then walk to and from your car. That way, walk while you do chores, add in some extra steps doing that. You can, you know, put one piece of laundry, one dish, or one grocery item away at a time so that you're constantly walking back and forth. The schools oftentimes are looking for people to help with coaching sports or to help on the sidelines at sports, whatever it might be. Look for those opportunities as another way to commit yourself to getting in activity during the day. If you're an educator and you can incorporate activity into your lesson plans, even better. Now you're being active and you're helping those students be active as well. So that's another opportunity. And then downloading, you know, tracking or activity apps is a great way as well to help you either stay accountable by having to log that activity each day or each week, but there's also some really great ones out there that will give you workouts to do. They have cardio workouts, strength training workouts, yoga workouts, and that's going to be included in those. I'm going to include some examples of good workout apps or fitness trackers in those resources that I'm gonna put up after the recording as well. If any of you use a specific app or watch specific exercise videos, whatever it might be, I would love to hear about that. If you would share them with me, let me know what works well for you. Even if you have ideas on how you stay active during your busy day or how you fit exercise into your busy schedule, please share those ideas with me. I would love to share those with coworkers as well, anonymously, of course. So if you have ideas that you want to share, email me or whatever the best way. You can comment on here as well, but let me know those ideas. You guys are the ones out there in that setting, so you might have ideas that haven't already been brought up here. So really just make that promise to yourself to move your body every day. Our bodies were not designed to be sedentary, and there's a lot of negative impacts of the sedentary lifestyle that we have, you know, with more technology every day and all that. So just make that promise to yourself that no matter what it is, you're going to get out there and you're going to move each day. So that is all that I have for you today. If you have any questions, feel free again to jump on, put them in the question category. Just let me know. I'll hang on for a few minutes. Otherwise, look for that recording link if you want to listen to it some more, and watch for those resources that will be included with that as well. And one last thing that I have started doing with these presentations is you can now access them on your in-health dashboard as well. So while I'll have them on the drive, I'll provide a YouTube link, all that. Another place you can access them is your dashboard. You just have to go under Resources tab at the top, and then the first box there is Program Documents. You'll see that that Documents will have a folder that will include the quiz. So for anybody that's looking to take the quiz, you can find a PDF version there that will just need to be scanned back to me. But then there's another tab under that Program Documents that says Videos, and all the videos will be available to watch there as well. So that's especially helpful for any spouses that want to watch or take the quizzes if they don't have access to the drive or having issues finding it. All of it can be accessed through the dashboard now as well. Okay. So let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, that is all that I have for you today. Thank you all for listening.